Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome back to the West Ham Safe. My name is Casey Sports, and we are having a terrible, terrible run. We are down to a B. We haven't really been at this point in a very long time. Let's talk about what got us here, but I'm not going to click on the the games because I don't want to spoil any new signings. I'm bad for that. We drew 0-0 with Man United, and I thought we've done a good job there. 2-1 to Arsenal, 0-0 to United. Is what it is. Followed by a 1-0 draw against Forest, and I began to worry. And it all got so much worse with a 2-1 loss to Brentford. To put it into perspective, we had beaten Nottingham Forest 5 times in a row, Brentford 6 times in a row in the leagues, or at least something like that. Basically, the tally for previous games was just win, 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 win. And it's gone very badly. And that is after spending £260 million in the transfer market. As you saw last episode, Claudio Echeverri joined in on loan, and I wasn't too sure. I decided to agree with it. I felt like, yeah, that's the best option possible. He's a very good young left winger. The fact he's on loan, only a squad player, I felt like that's perfect. Not paying much money. He's not expecting to start much, and if needed, he can come off the bench and be a stud for us because he's very, very good. But he wasn't the only winger signing. We spent £100 million to bring in this young man, Badradine Brunani, and he looks unbelievable, doesn't he? He looks so good. And in the debut match, which was against Nottingham Forest, he'd get an assist to Petr Rakov to make it 1-0. I thought we're going great here. A lot of things are going very, very well. 15 minutes in, and it'll be a late goal from Alexei Miranchuk. And it was one of those games where we clearly deserved to win. It didn't work, but Brentford, we didn't. We did not look good. And Brentford would be the last game of the tactic that you saw. So it lasted 4 games and not a single win. I felt we needed to change something, which is why we're going to be watching this Newcastle match and then the Bournemouth game. We aren't going to be watching Bayern. We're watching Newcastle because 1, it's the first look at a brand new tactic, and 2, I feel like the Carabao Cup can be a really important way. It could be possibly the only chance we have at winning silverware this year if we can go on a good run. And there's no point. We've seen Bayern. I hate them, and I'd love to have that rematch. But for right now, I don't think there's a point. I'd rather wait until we're a little bit deeper into the Champions League phase to start having a look at what could happen from it. And then Bournemouth, I think, is a good way to get an idea of where we are. We're facing a decent top side and a middling to bottom level team. So what's the new tactic looking like? Well, this is it. You bastard. Usman Diamonde's picked up a slight injury. And now Ahmedovic could come into the lineup. It could be Naif Aguirre. I quite like Aguirre in that role. But we're gonna put Ahmedovic in for now. Hopefully he has a decent job. So it is Trubin in goal, but we are now doing a back three. Pau Torres and now Ahmedovic for now, and Jean-Claire Todibo. So the idea is these guys can play as full backs in possession, and they're back three in regular game. I'm gonna actually bring these a little bit further back, so they're still gonna be offensive, but at least out of possession. That is where they're gonna play. Just thinking about that, I think, because I don't like how much space is behind the fullback. So it's going to be Victor Christensen on that left hand side, and we're actually going to be playing James Ward-Prowse as a right back. He's decent in that role. He's maybe not the best, but I think he's going to be a very solid option. Scott McSauce will partner Ruben Neves in midfield as Florian Wirtz came back from injury and immediately pulled his green, which never good. Mohamed Kudus has played very well. He's going to continue on that left-hand side. And Brunani has been pretty good in his games. We were playing Petr Rakov at left wing, and he was also having a solid game, but I wanted space to fit Kudus in. And so Rakov on the bench for now. Evan Ferguson will lead the line, as I trust him the most, and I feel like he's slowly starting to build his way into this lineup. So here we go against Newcastle. This is do or die for us at this point. We want to at least win some silverware by the end of this save. This is, of course, likely going to be our final ever season with this squad. So I'm hoping we can at least say we won something, because it would be terrible to finish off this entire save 4 years of football, great memories and stories, just to say, by the way, we never actually won anything. And I will admit this, if we don't win anything, maybe I'll play in my spare time, and perhaps you can have a little look at if we do finally win something, just so it's not as anticlimactic as just 4 years and nothing was won, and we did with the next great Pochettino. So Evan Ferguson there wins that ball back. João Mario with a tackle, no penalty given. So you notice our wingers are playing inside forward, Ferguson playing as a complete forward. The idea is to have all three players as kind of strikers together, and it is a goal for Evan Ferguson. A really poor pass there by Vilmar Barrios, and Ferguson with the easiest finish he'll probably ever have. So I don't expect Ferguson to be banging in 30 odd goals. The idea is for all of our wingers and our strikers to kind of collectively get 10 to 15 this season, alongside a few decent goals from centre backs. Speaking of, Tadibo heads to the back post. Kudus was offside, but very nearly 2-0 there. Now the idea for this tactic in terms of not player roles but team roles is to be more towards our first season, which was less possession based and more built around physicality. I feel that was when we were at our best, when we just tried to outpower our team. It's why McTominay's back in the squad. His strength and speed, very, very good for this kind of team. So that's why he's in the squad, rather than, for example, Souček, who his strength's great, but he doesn't quite have the speed. And Fabinho, who is, I don't know, he hasn't impressed me yet. But we have a very, very deep squad. And I did realise I forgot to mention something as his first start in about a year. Nearly a year for us, over 6 months after he went on loan and wasn't purchased by Southampton. He came back and I'm sure he thought he'd never play for us again. But we rejected a loan offer for him from Nice, and he would come back. What a moment. Scott McSaw scores to make it 2-0 against Newcastle. What a special player. I don't know how on earth I decided to slowly integrate him out of this squad. And here he is on the ball again. He's got options either side. Finds Bunani. Barrios wins the tackle. And still driving forward. Morato now. Bruno Guimaraes. Neves. Beautiful interception. And now it's Mohamed Kudus. And he could pull this across. Instead, he just holds on for now. Back to Christensen. Oh, off the crossbar there by Brunani. Very good chance. And so far, we are dominating. Yes, we're not doing well in possession, but we are playing a very, very good counter-attacking style of football. It must be said, during that heavy possession tactic, we struggle to get more than 50% on most games. We are sort of hovering around the 48 mark. So clearly we're not built for possession. There's another good chance there from Evan Ferguson, hits off the crossbar. But we are having a wonderful game, and things are definitely looking good for us as we go into the half 2-0 up. That's some great news. Following a horrific run of form. And I know it may not seem, it's only 4 games, but those were, 2 winnable games and 2 very important games. So not getting a single win really hurt. But yeah, we're doing great here. 2-0 up. And I think it's time to make our first change. Mohamed Kudus has had a good game. But it's time to welcome back Gonçalo Borges, who we haven't seen much of in quite a while. There's a couple other fitness issues, and I'm going to make a triple change as well. Neves off. The best option in my opinion for a deep line playmaker will be Fabinho. Going to bring Brunani off for Jared Bowen, and Evan Ferguson for Rakov. So we have one more substitution if necessary, if there's some fitness or injury concerns. But it's looking like we may have stumbled upon a pretty solid Tata here. We just have to hope we don't get too many injuries to our defence. The midfield and attack are very deep. I'm not all too worried about that. Morato, Vermeeren, great tackle there by Rakov, and Bowen now drives forward. Joe Bowen off the bench, pulls across, and Petr Rakov makes it 3-0. And that is so perfect. And this is exactly what I mean. Everyone in that offensive lineup needs to work together. And the two substitutes linking up well. Rakov won the tackle. Bowen made the space and made the pass. And Rakov finished it off. 3-0. Newcastle are definitely starting to falter, as Christensen will come off for Ryan Aït-Nouri, who will immediately have an involvement on this game. But 3-0 up against Newcastle, this is huge. And we need to go on a big run. We know from last season, if you're going to win the title, you need to be nigh on perfect. So, yes, this isn't a Carabao Cup, but this could be a good sign for morale and form. But Arthur Vermeeren, at the back post, may have just made it 3-1. There will be checks of offside. Now, if I'm being honest, Lewis Miley looked to me like he was being involved in play, but the goals awarded. David Coutts decides that he hates West Ham. You know, he's never had to work a day in his life. He doesn't even know what a hammer is. It's like Matt Hancock. Jesus. Okay, Leicester, you're taking up a lot of space. But we win. West Ham 3, Newcastle 1. Our first win of the season comes with the brand new tactic. And that was a very, very good win. All the players working well together. So we will be back for the Bournemouth game. And let's see if this works when we are meant to be the better team. Because, you know, that's quite counter-attacking of a style. So who knows if it's going to work when the other team are going to be sitting back a little bit more. So I'll see you then. And so we are back. And as I said, I forgot to mention something earlier about sales of players. But before we get into that, Everton are next door for the Carabao Cup. And they got through by defeating Manchester City. So I'm quite worried. And looking at the squad, you may not think it's all too dangerous. But I had a quick little run through of all their players. And the best way to describe it is this front three. If you look at Beto, 6'4", great pace. Danny Namaso is 6 foot, amazing speed. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, 6'2", with all that speed. They are unbelievably physical, very similar to us, with a lot of height, a lot of strength, a lot of speed. And I'm very worried if we are going to compete against them trying to play like for like football. So Diamande is back in the squad. He isn't entirely fit, so I'm going to stick with Ahmedovic for now. But we definitely keep an eye. Naya Aguirre still struggling to get into the squad. Definitely an option though. If Pau Torres picks up an injury, that maybe he keeps his position. But the lineup is going to stay the exact same as the one that just overcame Newcastle. No changes at all to the starting 11. Only Diamande comes onto the bench. Bournemouth, as I said, they're not meant to be the best squad, and we are definite favourites. So I'm interested to see how this tactic works when we are facing teams who maybe we should be better than. However, I'm quietly confident that we can get our first win of the Premier League season here against the Cherries. And it will actually be a highlight straight off of kickoff with Victor Christensen winning the ball. Terrible pass, and Solanke shoots just wide on his weaker left foot. That's not a good start, and that definitely does pose a few problems for us. This is the league table for now. We are down in 15th place. Things can change, and of course there's still a long way to go this season. 34 games including this one. So I'm not thinking we're out of the title race just yet. But a couple more losses, and I genuinely would say we are out of the title race this early in the season before even the new year. However, football now to be played by West Ham as Evan Ferguson back to Pau Torres. And this is lovely football. This is what I want from my centre-backs to help in the offence. And McTominay with a header from the edge of the box forced Adrian Muric to dive. So, not great. Oh, Punani has picked up an injury. Bowen comes into the starting lineup. Well, he's substituted on. Don't know what I'm on about. But, yeah, Bowen's going to come in. Punani, that's his second little injury. During a game and... Oh, no. Lewis Cook with... in the middle of the box, tackled by Pau Torres, and a penalty's given. There was no need for that. There was no real chance for Bournemouth. There still needs to be a lot of hard work doing. And Solanke, Panenka's Trubin, 40 minutes in. This is the worst possible chance. There's something up in the air this season. And I honestly do feel like we could get fired. That is genuinely my feeling right now, is that we spent nearly £300 million this season, and we aren't beating the likes of Bournemouth. However, still another half to play. Let's see if things can become a little bit better here as Tyler Adams finds Lewis Cook. Lewis back to Brendan Evans, or I don't know, Alexis Salamakers, Aarons. I hate Belgian players, they're very good. Solanke off the post. What's wrong with us right now? We can't offer anything. Nevesh having a great game. Kudos doing pretty poor. I'm going to bring both off. Gonzalo Borges in. And Fabinho on. I'm also Ferguson's going to come off for Rakov. So with over half an hour to play, we've made 4 of our 5 substitutions. We're pretty much going to have to stick with this squad now until the end. And Justin Kluivert nearly made it 2-0. We are completely on the back foot. We don't seem to be offering anything. There's Traore in, headed away from Adebayo. And yeah, things aren't changing right now. We're in 16th position in the league. This is a horrific drop-off in form when you base off of last season. And I don't know what we can do to change it. I can bring the wing-backs forward to try and help with the attack, but the defence is going to stay pretty much the same. However, we're on the ball. Maybe now we can start to bring things back into our spell with 50 minutes to go. It's Bowen, Rakov dispossessed by Ilyas Barzani, but Borges back on it. Borges swings it in. McTominay at the back post. Just wide yet again. It's just that little bit wide. So we're going to bring Fabinho, McTominay, Christensen and Ward-Prowse further forward. Christensen having a pretty rough game. So is James Ward-Prowse. I'm going to swap McTominay and Prowse and bring on Ben Johnson to play in that right back position. Maybe that can help. Bowen, Prowse, Johnson one's off the bench. Finds Fabinho. Okay, something's happening with that little manner change. Tadibo driving forward. Lovely pass into Ben Johnson. Kirkes with a tackle, but it's right back to our man. Looks to the back post of Rakov. And there he is. Petr Rakov makes it 1-1. And with 12 minutes left of regulation time, we could very well be able to get our first win of the season on board. However, we need to play at our best to do so. All 5 changes have been made. And time is ticking away. Time's of the essence, guys. It's going to be a 1-1 draw away at the Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth hold us, and you could argue they maybe deserve to win. And I've done a terrible team meeting. The squad is fallen to ruins. I cannot believe this. 5 games, 3 draws, 2 defeats in the league. 3 draws and 2 defeats. Usually, if we look at last season, I'm very interested to see what the results were like when you think we've got 33 games left to play. If things don't start to pick up, last season was ended. Not in the season preview. Come on, guys. Stages. Here we go. Last season, the 5 draws, 6 defeats for Arsenal. So we are halfway on our way to equaling Arsenal's tally. Jesus. And Brunhani is out for 3 weeks. Well, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the episode. I sure will not be liking and subscribing because that was terrible, I have to say. But thank you all for watching. Have a great day and bye-bye.